Alrighty, girls and gays, it's time for a really fun board game about romance and courting royalty. Love nowadays is subtweeting about how you'll eat ass, and love back in the good old days is sending a letter to the princess and telling her that you'll eat ass. In Love Letter, you're trying to eat the princess's ass. Love Letter is a microgame where 2 to 8 players write letters to the princess in trying to court her after her mother has been arrested for treason. Yeah, this game has a surprising amount of lore for being this big, although there is nothing in the rulebook at all that talks about the princess and making lots of spaghetti. This game was released in 2012, and I really hope I'm not butchering this guy's name, but it was designed by Saiji Kanai. Now, this is a social deception game, which is a type of game that I'm positive not only have you heard of, but you've definitely played it before. You're probably thinking, what sets this apart from Mafia, Town of Salem, Sheriff Nottingham, and the expansion. Coup, Secret Hitler, Avalon, Ultimate One Night Werewolf, Campy Creatures, Halo Reach. Well, nothing, really. But also a lot. This isn't even the only medieval social deception game either. However, this extremely simple game produces all new types of fun and strategies based on the group of people that you're playing with. From guessing exactly what people have in their hand, to having a makeshift honor system where you get to look at somebody else's hand and then not snitch on them. The game is almost always a blast. At a glance, a card game where all of the rules fit onto a single card or two seems kind of like a snooze fest, or a game that you and your group can easily figure out and then you'll drop it. But when you play this game with the right group of people, it's easily one of the most enjoyable card games out there, for sure. At its worst, it's a very clear-cut card counting player elimination game. So the big thing that separates this game from the others that I mentioned is that the group that we were playing with changes everything. You don't need to come up with some strategy, every round based on your role, because you're actively picking up and discarding rolls. Similar to Coup, if you've played that in one of the games I mentioned earlier. You're trying to end up with a card that counters the one that your opponent has, or that you think that they have. You can pay attention and really boil it down to some sort of science, or you can just say fuck it and guess that they have the princess every turn, and eventually you're bound to be right. The worst aspect of this game is that in the base version here, is that if any of the cards get bent, creased, wet, ripped in the slightest, it ruins the entire set. Once a card is distinguishable from the rest from the back, the entire game is ruined. This is nice because the game isn't that expensive, but still, kind of a bummer. Love Letter actually has 2 versions. It has the original, right here, that you've already seen, and it has the premium. After I go over some of the basics in Love Letter, I'm only going to be referring to the premium, since it's better in every way, shape, and form. So, let's go over and do the piece inspection. This game comes with 32 game cards, 8 rule cards. I usually have it set up so that there's 4 of the original set on the front, and 4 of the new rules, the premium exclusive rules on the back, which are on the green side. Usually have it set up to 4 and 4. Love Letter Premium Edition expands the player count up to 6, adds a whole new card full of rules and rolls, as well as throws all balance out the window. Good news is that if you're playing this game, you probably don't care about the balance and just want something to play with a lively group of people to pass some time or talk over. The basic version of Love Letter is very standard. Each round gets 1 winner, and each winner gets 1 token, and that's pretty much it. However, in the premium version, you can win more than 1 token of affection and not even win the round. Here's an example. I play the card that allows me to gamble on who wins the round. I say Jess is going to win. If she does, I get a token of affection. If I'm wrong, nothing happens. Next turn I play the bishop, which lets me gain another token if I can correctly guess someone's hand. The next turn I'm knocked out with the constable in my hand, and Jess wins the round, which gets me the jester token from earlier and the constable token for losing with it in my hand. So Jess may have won the round, but I gained 2 tokens of affection while she gained 1. The number of tokens needed to win changes with the amount of people you play the game with, and I've won plenty of games without being the last one standing, which is again the only way that you can win in the original. This turns into like a headache or a shitfest sometimes because you have to keep track of who's in the lead or who has the potential to win during each round, because someone can just sweep out from under you and just get 3 tokens of affection and win the game. So the bad news is that if at any point the premium edition turns into a competitive game, it can end almost instantly. The premium edition includes these really cool card sleeves to protect from damage and upgraded tokens of affection from the princess. The premium edition also has this clear typo that gets on my nerves every single time. It actually called for a house rule to be made beforehand just to balance a single card. The constable allows you to win if you place it in quote-unquote you discard pile. Come on. The rule we play with is similar to if you took our advice and started playing with the cities in the Orient combination that I recommended in the Splendor video. I recommend this, and that is that if you have the constable in your hand when you're out, you win a token of affection. Because the rulebook says absolutely nothing about the personal discard piles, which is even worse because you consider that it's such a pivotal role and rule that has a typo in it. Why wouldn't you fix that? This is the premium edition. You think that would be fixed, wouldn't you? I mean, granted, this card isn't in the base version, but it's a headache to deal with most of the time because people are always arguing the semantics of what a card rule means, and it's dumb as hell. Overall, I'm giving Love Letter Premium a 1 out of 5 for difficulty and a light 7 out of 10 overall. I'm just getting those ratings out there right now. The highs in this game are pretty high and can be the best casual card game that I play with my friends. With the right people, you can really have a 10 out of 10 experience. With all of the pieces fitting on a plate, it's pretty much a go-to whenever I go over to a friend's house. I'll always just bring it with me. This game is compact compared to other board games like Mansions of Madness. I mentioned on my Twitter that I was going to start adding other reviews to really spice up this really nice system I feel like we have established with our 6th board game review. I'm going to be pairing every board game with an alcoholic drink. This is because I really don't remember the last time I played a board game sober. For Love Letter, we're going to start off easy, and I'm going to recommend whatever the fuck you have that gets you drunk the fastest. Look, I'm aware of the times we live in right now. Grab the highest ABV, highest percentage liquor you have, and just fucking go to town, because that makes this game way more fun. You know what? Since I didn't give a specific drink for this one, I'm gonna go ahead and throw in some bonus rating. It's now bonus. The new Hoka Carbon X's that I just got. 9 out of 10. Oh, the air fryer purchased from Macy's like 2 years ago. 10 out of 10. Fucking look at this thing. What a work of art. This bad boy can hold so much fucking food in it. My video game collection. 7 out of 10. I could always use more copies of Glover. Glover. 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. The Wingspan European expansion. I don't know. It's still in its plastic. You can see that right. I mean, I haven't played it, so I'll let you know. Scythe. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Boy? So, did you enjoy the video? Have you played Love Letter before? What do you think of social deception games? Yeah, there's probably a poll on my Twitter right now, link in the description, asking what board game you want to see me review next. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.